Hello and welcome to the CDE Engagement Awareness session. The purpose of this session is to provide you with a bit more detail on the technical solution or the common data environment that we are looking to procure. The reason for this is because we have now moved into detailed design and are beginning the procurement of the technology. Therefore, at this stage, we would like to provide you with an update on the programme and a high-level introduction to the technology, including the benefits that it will deliver. Before we start, you will hear some acronyms within the presentation, so we're going to explain them at the beginning. The first is IMM. This stands for Information Management and Modelling, which is the name of the programme. The next is CDE, which stands for the Common Data Environment and is the name of the technology that we're looking to procure. So, the contents. We will start off with providing an explanation of what the IMM programme is and a bit of a refresh on where we are now, and then move on to what is the CDE. So, IMM and programme refresh. What is BIM? The purpose of this diagram is to describe the levels of maturity that precede Level 2, which is TfL's IMM programme aspiration, and to describe the vision of Level 3, which is TfL's ultimate aim. Let's start with Level 0. This is where the majority of surface transports are currently, although we are aware that there are some teams which are working towards Level 2. Information is exchanged by email, 2D CAD drawings exist, and information and data is held in paper format. Next, let's move on to Level 1. This is moving from 2D to 3D, which provides better spatial coordination, and where we are starting to work to some of the best practice guides and standards, such as BS 1192/2007. Level 2 will be a big step on from Level 1, where all design disciplines are producing object-based 3D models. The client clearly defines what information they require and when via the Employer's Information Requirements, or EIR, and everyone is working to the standards included in PAS 1192 Part 2 and 3. In addition, teams are working and exchanging information in a common data environment. And next, Level 3. You cannot do Level 3 without previously achieving Level 2, and this is the real reason why we are currently delivering the programme. This is where data and information is shared and verified across mutually interested clients. For TfL, this would include HS2, Network Rail, and Highways England. Everyone is working in the clouds and teams have access to real-time information. This is moving towards smart cities. So, what is IMM? IMM is better management, utilisation, and sharing of information throughout the project and asset lifecycle. It is also TfL's approach to BIM. As shown by the diagram, IMM is made up of 4 key components: technology, people, information requirements, and processes. The technology component is highlighted and is the main focus of this presentation. This includes a fully integrated software and systems, including the CDE. However, as the picture shows, all 4 components are essential to the successful delivery of the programme. Why are we delivering the programme now? This is due to the government mandate, which specifies that all centrally funded organisation must be BIM Level 2 compliant by April 2016. As TfL is a partially funded government organisation, it must be compliant. However, we will not be fully Level 2 ready by April 2016, but have a detailed plan depicting how and when we will get there. How is the programme being delivered? As the diagram shows, it is split into 3 work streams: information, business mobilisation and comms, and technology. The information work stream will define the information required across project delivery and operations, standards of information we use, the way we classify our assets, and the way we can use modelling to add value to our business. The business mobilisation and comms workstream will ensure that our people and supply chain have the knowledge and skills to be able to deliver the new ways of working, work with the new technology and ensure that the solution is sustainable in the long term. The technology workstream will define, design and procure the enabling technology required to support the process, modelling, data sharing and data storage requirements defined by the programme. The programme is complex and therefore will be delivered in stages, again as shown by the diagram. We are currently in detailed design and preparing for the beginning of the Pioneer projects, which are comprised of STIP 2 projects and will focus on testing all elements of the programme, apart from the CDE, which will not come on board until October 2016. The IMM programme is important to surface transport and has buy-in at all levels across the organisation. Throughout the programme, we've engaged with a wide range of stakeholders. This includes gaining Surface Board sign-off for programme funding for the rest of the programme back in August 2015, presenting an update of the programme to the leadership team in October 2015, and the various workshops that we have held with surface transport teams starting from January and will continue on an ongoing basis throughout detailed design. These workshops have focused on specific areas, including technology, information requirements and process mapping. One of the reasons that the IMM programme is so important to the business is because of the benefits it will deliver. The business case has predicted surface efficiencies estimated at £60 to £120 million delivered by 2023 to 2024. A reduction of IMM project durations, especially in the design and delivery phases, reduced construction risks, reduced rework and duplication of information during project and asset lifecycle, and more accurate tendering from improved data access and sharing. Next, let's move on to explain a bit more about what the CDE is. The CDE can and will be used by all roles in TfL and will affect internal team members and the supply chain. The benefits it will deliver include enabling us to share information more effectively with our supply chain, enabling us to easily locate asset and project data, providing one source of the truth for all asset and project data, allowing us to assure data quality and the application of data standards using technology, linking together our data into models which support our business decision making, and facilitating different departments and teams to collaborate more effectively. The video we will now watch puts the CDE into context of meeting the standards.
On a typical construction project, a lot of information is produced. That information is often unstructured, poorly coordinated and hard to find. The result is an extra 20 to 25% on the cost of delivering your built environment. If we take more care and more integrity around how we structure this data, we can eradicate the waste from the process. That will improve efficiency and bring us time and cost savings. The key to well-structured data these days is a common data environment, an online place for collecting, managing and sharing information amongst your team working on a project. A common data environment can take on many forms depending on the size or type of project you're working on. It could be a project server, an extranet or a cloud-based system. The important thing is that it's digital, that everyone in your team has access to it, and that it can be easily subdivided into areas. It needs to be a collaborative and well-managed space for sharing work. Here, we're going to look at the Common Data Environment format as set out in the British Standards PAS 1192 Part 2, the guidance document for delivering projects at BIM Level 2. We start with a single shared area and the client's authorised employer's information requirements. Once the project team are appointed, work takes place within an area that was already defined in BS 1192 back in 2007. Design teams and other project contributors work in their own work-in-progress areas, developing and honing their graphical and non-graphical information. Once checked, that information is approved and moved to the shared area for other parties to access and use in the creation and development of their contributions. At BIM Level 2, whilst others may reuse information, the ownership and power to change the information remains with its originator. At key project stages and decision points, like the end of work stages, planning approval or construction issue, the employer or employer's agent approves and signs off information before moving it to the published area. It's important to check here that the information provided aligns with the client's stated requirements. This information can then be used to engage specialists who work in similar work-in-progress areas to the design team before sharing their approved contributions. As each project milestone is met, published information is moved to the archive area for future reference and use. Effective use of a common data environment will build an accurate and well-structured dataset known as a project information model as the stages progress. Once verified, this published document and data is used in the asset management phase and known as an asset information model. It is the gates and sign-off procedures at each point that allow data to flow between areas. Revision control is simple, production information is right first time, and the cost of producing it is reduced. PAS 1192 Part 2 provides more information on how to manage a project through a CDE and is available as a free download from the BSI at this link.
This short animation provides a simple explanation of a file, graphical or non-graphical, moving through the CDE and passing through different governance gates. It will focus on two teams. First, let's start with Task Team A. Task Team A produce a document in their team's work in progress area. You will notice that it starts with revision P01.1. The points is the version of the document and the P01 is the revision. As the document progresses, the version and revision number will change. Once Task Team A have finished with their document, it is moved into the For Approval area. The For Approval area sits within the team's Work in Progress area and is a governance gate. It checks for the quality of information produced, compliance with standards and information requirements. At this point, if the document meets the standards and requirements, it is approved. The revision and status is changed and the document moves to the shared area. You will also notice at this point that once in shared, a copy is automatically moved to archive. Next, let's look at Task Team B. Again, they are creating a document within their team's Work in Progress area. And you will see that again, the version and revision are the same. Once the document is complete, it is again moved to For Approval, and once approved by the relevant team members, it is moved to Shared and Archive. Next, let's go back to Task Team A. Task Team A have pulled both documents in their original form from the shared area and will create a new document which contains elements of both. This is why the revision is changed and is now P02.1. Again, the same process will be followed, with the team moving the document to the For Approval area of Work in Progress. However, at this point, the document does not meet the requirements and is rejected. The document moves back to Task Team A in the Work in Progress area where they make amendments. This is why the revision has now changed to P02.2. The document then moves back to For Approvals and this time is accepted. Therefore, it is moved to Shared as P02, status S1. As with the Work in Progress area, a governance gate also exists for the shared area. This is for the same reason, to ensure that all documents have the same quality of information, compliance with standards, and information requirements. Once in the shared environment, more than just Task Team A can now view the document. Depending upon the RACI applied to the process, various teams will now be able to see and use the document once in shared area. Before the document can be published and therefore viewed by a wider audience, again dependent upon the RACI applied to the process, it must pass through another governance gateway. This is for acceptance. As you will see, at this point, once it is accepted, the major revision and the status are changed. The document now becomes known as CO1 as it is the first contractual deliverable. At this point, a copy is automatically moved to the archive as well. Now, moving on to integration. The top layer shows the key roles that will regularly work in the CDE. The blue box shows the key user functionality, and the pink box shows the key systems that will be integrated into the CDE via the TfL integration service. Through the CDE, a user will be able to search across data held by the CDE and data held in systems that sits outside the CDE that will be integrated via the TfL integration service, or TIS. You will be able to filter the search on any information contained in the file name and all the metadata, such as the date range information created, asset type, information type, and location. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact one of the IMM project team or look to the FAQ section on the SharePoint.